You have 5 minutes to address us and who you are, why you want to be governor of Anambra State, sir. We then move on to the next candidate of AAC. Sorry, yeah, go on.
Yes, my name is Dr. Chidozie Nwankwo. I hail from Oko in Orumba North local government. And I'm offering myself to salvage Anambra State. Anambra State is a peculiar state that has contributed so much to the growth of Nigeria. Anambra State, the history of development of Nigeria as a nation can never be, complete without Anambra entrepreneurs. And I'm an entrepreneur for 35 years. And that is 35 years of very productive.
You seem to have a challenge with your network. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, so it's the candidate that has a problem with his network. We will allow him because his time, he has 5 minutes. If he's able to re-engage within that time, that's all right. If it isn't, then we must move to the next candidate because part of what needs to happen is a preparedness for an engagement, of course, with unpredictable services from network providers. So we hold on for Dr. Nwankwo.
I think he's back.
He is. Yeah. If you're back,
yes, so sorry.
Sir?
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Yes.
Like I said, I've spent 35 years of my life in different spheres of business. And I'm very proud to say that I have owned business in 7 countries of the world. If you look at Anambra State today, 85% of Anambrans are from business community. And in this segment of the state, I consider myself a leader in the business world. Currently, we have touched, we're employing over 5,000 Nigerians today in our 5 factories. So I felt that the issue of Anambra State has been management of our resources because we've always allowed people who had no experience in managing resources to manage our resources. And that's why I'm offering myself, having been in business and managed so many entities actually in the global economy has positioned so many companies to become companies that has actually laid the new roads. So I'm going to offer to Anambra State, I'm going to manage Anambra State as a business entity. Today in Nigeria, Anambrans are number 1 in entrepreneurship. And that is why I consider myself the most qualified person.
Thank you very much, sir. Your time is up now.
Anambra State.
I'm
going to manage Anambra as a business entity. And
very quickly, please.
Today, if you look at...
Hello. Thank you. If you look at... I said, can somebody mute him? Thank you very much, sir.
So if I ask, what's the successive administrators have promoted the philosophy of Akuru law, which I think many of us are familiar with, as a way of attracting investment in the economy of the state.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, okay. I can hear you now.
Okay, please repeat your question.
Okay, so I said, that based on the insights that you have given, based on your profile, I will take you up on the business angle. And my question is pretty much has to do with how you will navigate this business question, which is that successive administrators and administrations in Anambra State have promoted the philosophy of Akuru law as a way of attracting investment in the economy of the state. How will you translate this philosophy in your development plans for Anambra State, given your very impressive profile?
Okay, very good. Just like I said, in 35 years of engaging in different business segments, if you look at my party, AAC, the motto of my party is putting the people first. How can we put the people first? You see, The issue that we have is that we had allowed people who hasn't got what it takes to run the state affairs for many years. For example, if you look at over 35 years, Ekweme built a mini port in River Niger. And this port ought to be, ought to be like a catalyst that will change the business community in this side of the country. If you look at River Tema in London, you see feeder vessels moving every 10, 20 minutes, conveying containers. We ought to have gotten this port operational in over 30 years. And one of my ventures globally, I had been involved in a global shipping service. And
thank you, sir. But your time is up, sir.
So what I'm trying to say is that
you'll still get a chance to speak again later.
Okay, what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. No, you will still get a chance and even answer questions and also take your closing statement. So by the time I'm locked, it is up. So which question would you take?
I choose number 5.
Number 5, okay. The question goes, what does your town and the people around you have to show for all your years in national and state politics in the last 20 years? Okay.
In my village, I've been running a foundation for 34 years. My foundation for 34 years has built the Roman Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, the Pentecostal Church, and has offered succor to tens of thousands of indigent families, not only from my village, from the whole 21 local government. My foundation has been the most effectively run foundation in the entire 21 local government of Anambra State for 34 years. In 2013, I sent the head of my foundation, Dr. Victoria Ezekoli, the former director of NTA, to take inventory for me to see the impacts this foundation has actually had in people's life. And the testimonies are mind-blowing. A woman that was driven away by the husband came to my foundation and was given a capital. And he said when the husband drove her away, she lived in an uncompleted building and people thought she was mad. And today she owns 3 shops in the Columbia and lives in a comfortable flat. And people now know she's not mad. A woman said that she got capital from Kingdom Care Foundation. This foundation, and she has given other 50 women capital from her own income. And a young man said he got money from my foundation, bought the first motorcycle, got another funding. Today he owns a transport company. My foundation has, just last 1 week, I was at Umoji to attend Adide ceremony, dancing group. And the woman actually selling cosmetics there said that the capital for that her business was given to her in Kingdom Care Foundation. And her motto was, if I help you, help others. So this foundation has affected life for 34 years and has sent thousands of people to school, has we have organized vocational studies in different spheres and supported the beneficiaries with capital takeoff grants. So this foundation has affected life for the past 34 years because most colleagues of mine start their own foundation 1 year before seeking for elective post. But I started mine for 34 years and has, actually affected lives in thousands for that 34 years.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, I wanted to point out that we do have some people from the audience who have posed some questions, and I think
questions online. Yes, indeed.
Open question. Any of the candidates can take it. It's from an anonymous attendee, and the question is: why do every governors keep marginalizing civil servants through poor salaries, delays in promotions, and non-payment of promotion arrears if eventually given a promotion at all. What do the intending governors have in plan for addressing these cruel treatments? Any other candidates can take the
yes, I can answer that.
And then you have 1 minute, please.
Yes, the issue with our past governors is that they are depending so much on revenue coming from Abuja, and that revenue has not been barely enough to meet all needs. We need a governor who can create jobs, who can develop, who can create businesses and run the state as a business entity that is not only going to be spending, but also be a state where the government will also create avenues to make money without tasking the people so much. So we need a governor who can create wealth and turn the state into a viable entity that can be able to sustain itself without depending on the monies that come from Abuja. And that is what I offer as a businessman, managing, ability to manage the resources profitably. Because if you don't make profit in your business, you cannot sustain. Like I have 5 factories with over 5,000 workers. If I don't make profit, there's no way I can sustain these 5,000 workers. So we need a governor who has, he cannot give what you don't have, who has that experience, who will bring to the table that managerial ability to entrepreneurship, to be able to create wealth for the state so that the state will be wealthy enough to be able to pay good salaries and sustain their workforce. That is.
Okay. Tell us some of your major contributions to women affairs, women empowerment, and the protection of womanhood in the last 20 years, and how you would cater for the interests of the women in Anambra State. And then I will take Dr. Chido, and then we'll wrap up this section, and we'll now take the closing statement.
Yes, if you look at my campaign, my deputy is a woman. And also in my company, Wishtech Group, we have 220 offices. And we have observed that most offices managed by women have been more productive. In my factories, one of my most successful factories, the operation manager is a woman. So women are very strict in management. They go by the rules. They are always going by, they don't, you have to dot every I. In every management segment, they are going by the rules. Men overlook a lot. And that actually makes women very special. So they are, result-oriented. Most of them had always, in my own outfits, I value women a lot because, in fact, they are the pillars that are actually helped Wishtech to be where they are today. So in governance, I will make sure that women also take very prominent roles to be able to make sure we have effective running government. So women, women, it cannot be emphasized the qualities of women in managing any entity. So women, I will encourage women to be part of my government, and I'll make sure that that to the best of my ability, that we make sure that women are not marginalized.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The flyer set I have is the other arrangement. So, and all the faces are not there. Please, my sincere apologies. No offense intended. Have your 2 minutes before we move to Obina.
Okay, I want to appreciate the organizers of this meeting. I want to thank my colleagues for the friendly manner, at which we have, answered our questions. I want to also thank the viewers, and I want to plead with all the viewers to vote AAC on Saturday, because I believe that among all these candidates, I have employed more Anambrans all over Nigeria. I've affected more lives. And my closing remark is to reference Warren Buffett, who said in hiring a manager, you should consider qualification, experience, integrity. Most importantly, if number 3 is missing, forget the former 2. I'm offering integrity capital into governance, and that is what is lacking, and that is what has got us to where we are today. So I am pleading with Anambrarians to consider people that has been proven in their different fields, because no one can give what he has, what he does not have. And my promise is that I'm going to manage Anambra to become the Japan of Africa. That Anambra will be what I'm going to do in Anambra will be remembered in 100 years. I'm going to reshape the economy of Anambra State and make it to be an economy that will not be dependent on federal government allocations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Vote
Thank you very much. So now I'll call on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.